Hello, we are ready for Workshop 3. Workshop 3 will focus on inclusion, supports, and equity. As a reminder, we have previously discussed the importance of the early years and current issues in early childhood. Now we can synthesize this understanding into supporting all children. Pause the video here, take 5 minutes to consider Workshop 1 and 2, and prepare for notes. Let's again visit the workshop framework. Discovering. Discovering acknowledges children's interdependence with others and the basis of relationships in defining identities. In early childhood and throughout life, relationships are crucial to a sense of discovery. Doing. Doing recognizes the significance of the here and now in children's lives. It is about the present and them knowing themselves, building and maintaining relationships with others, engaging with life's joys and complexities, and meeting challenges in everyday life. The early childhood years are not solely preparation for the future, but also about the present. Developing. Children's identities, knowledge, understandings, capacities, skills, and relationships change during childhood. They are shaped by many different events and circumstances. Developing reflects this process of rapid and significant change that occurs in the early years as young children learn and grow. It emphasizes learning to participate fully and actively in society. Through discovering, doing, and developing, we know we need to meet the individual strengths and needs of each child so our work can support development into confident and capable adults. We can connect this workshop to the doing part of our framework. In addressing needs and equity, we can support our children to build relationships and meet challenges in life. It is in our best interest to comprehend how best to support children and families in all ways. As a reminder, in Workshop 2, we reviewed diverse learners and special needs. Early childhood education plays an important role in preparing all children for later success in life. In order to provide children with the skills they need, these strategies can help. Plan themes. Presenting vocabulary thematically helps children make associations between words and scaffold. Read-alouds that include explanations of vocabulary to support word learning and dramatic play can be organized around a chosen theme. Communicate with intent. Use open questions or questions that can have multiple answers to help expansion of vocabulary. For example, why do you like this doll best? Instead of, what is this doll's name? Provide an ongoing commentary on activities that are taking place in the classroom in order to expose children to language within the immediate context. Expand your practice. Incorporate children's home language into the classroom when possible using songs and videos. Providing support to all learners can help them transition successfully into kindergarten and through life. Pause the video here. Take 20 minutes to first review the TEDx video, and then to review the Diverse Learners resource. Supporting children with special needs within an inclusive classroom will include accessibility for all. Consideration must be made for the needs of each child. To build an inclusive classroom, use the following methods. Person-first language. Remember that the child is first, not the disability. Always focus on the child first. This will translate to the children in your care. Plan appropriately. As you do for all children, have high and realistic expectations for children with disabilities or developmental delays. Collaborate. Connect with support professionals. As experts working with children with disabilities, they will be a great help in meeting children's needs. Modify. Make small modifications like add pencil grips to crayons and markers and glue knobs to puzzle pieces to support motor difficulties. Establish clear routines to help transitions and understanding, and manage classroom noise and stimulation. Classrooms are inclusive when they meet the needs of all children and families. planning is individualized, and differentiation is evident. Pause the video here and review the reflection document. Take 15 minutes to reflect on the questions provided. Inclusion. You've heard the term and you've most likely used the term, but have you truly considered what it means? Did you know the Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act, IDEIA, from 2004, is a four-part piece of legislation that ensures students with a disability are provided with a free and appropriate public education that is tailored to their individual needs. IDEIA does not use the term inclusion in the law. Interesting, right? However, IDEIA does require schools place students in the least restrictive environment, or LRE. LRE means that, to the maximum extent appropriate, schools must educate students with disabilities in the regular classroom with appropriate aids and supports along with their non-disabled peers. This can be confusing, especially to new parents. It is critical that we are clear on the difference and that we keep the focus directly on the needs of the child. Beware of buzzwords and arm yourself with knowledge in the following areas: contemporary needs, accommodations, and planning. Contemporary schools are obligated to provide a quality education for all students who enter their doors. This is not a negative. It is a characteristic of the rapidly changing era in which we live. Even so, the main issues teachers face is understanding. We all fear unknowns, and often a student with unique needs can feel unknown, and we worry about knowing what to do. That is okay. Fear of meeting a child's needs is an awareness that we should arm ourselves with knowledge. Accommodations is another word associated with special needs. An accommodation is a change that helps a child overcome the disability and access materials and learning as other children. Really, accommodations are truly just adjustments to the classroom. Accommodations should not reduce learning expectations and are meant to provide equal access and equal opportunity for children to show what they know and can do. Accommodations should be adjustable and made to fade away as children gain skills. They can include a teacher response method, for example, cueing a child to line up with other children by physically guiding them each time or placing a student next to the teacher at circle time. Allowing for extra time for activities. Adjusting the environment, for example, providing sizable visuals, noise reduction, and sensory stimulation areas. Providing materials such as pencil grips and assisted pinchers. Here are more examples. Raise your hand if you've ever spent hours planning a lesson to find that it is over before you are ready. Anyone? In reflection, you consider what happened. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? Early childhood professionals know this much more than the average person. When considering students with special needs and all children, use include in your planning. Identify classroom worries. Note student gifts and needs. check potential areas of student success, look for potential challenge areas, use information to brainstorm accommodations, decide which accommodations to implement, and evaluate student progress. Pause the video here, take 20 minutes to review the following lesson activity. What is weather? Brainstorm ideas for include and accommodations using the include resource. Let's talk about what early childhood professionals probably work on most in a day: behavior. When we consider accommodations to support both learning and behavior, we can reference Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. The inner circle of the zone represents what a child can do without aid. The outer circle of the zone represents what is not yet known by the child. The middle circle of the zone represents skills that are too difficult for the child to master on their own, but that can be done with the guidance and encouragement of a knowledgeable person. The zones are shown in this image here. After we consider the zones our children fall into, we must also reflect on the iceberg theory. This theory has two levels: tangible and psychosocial. The tangible level involves the tip of the iceberg that is made up of observable behavior and facts. The psychosocial level involves the fears, insecurities, feelings, environment, and so on. These cannot be seen immediately, but are present on an extensive basis. So essentially, we can see about 10% of what a child is doing and experiencing, but we do not see or comprehend 90%. So always consider this when working with children. Further, we must see behavior as communication. If a child is engaging in a behavior over and over again, it means that the behavior is working for the child. Children communicate through their behavior what they are not able to explain with words. What is the motivation for the behavior? Is it attention, escape, sensory, tangible, pain, or revenge? The final word is that we have a responsibility to the behaviors of our children. We must receive the communication they send us, respond to their message, this is huge, and then provide an alternative way for the message to go through. We need to remember this quote from L.R. Knost. When little people are overwhelmed by big emotions, it's our job to share our calm, not to join their chaos. Pause the video here, take 20 minutes to review the behavior scenario and discussion questions. Given the shorter attention span of our younger children, transitions can often be a challenge. However, when used appropriately, transitions are powerful tools. Transitions guide children through the day and can help children move through the room and areas of the school smoothly. Additionally, young children crave and need routine. Routine involving transitions will provide young children a sense of security that comes from the day being semi-predictable. The order of the activities during the day is how they tell time. It can be easy for transition times to get out of hand, especially for young children. There are many strategies that can support positive transitions and help things go smoothly between activities. First, cues. Provide children cues for moving from one activity to another. For example, use bells or an instrument, flash the lights, play music or a special song, or sing a song that tells children what they are to do or where they are to go. Second, prepare the environment. Make the intent of the transition clear. For example, use carpet squares to designate space. Make place cards using student names. Use a blanket to invite children to a particular space. Third, grab their attention. Keep issues from occurring by making transitions fun. For example, decorate a box and use props each day to keep children engaged. Use a puppet and sing songs. Take a look at this sample schedule. On the left is a day without scheduled transitions, and on the right is a day with distinctly scheduled transitions. The additions in the second column are what you already do, but they may not be intentionally planned or recognized. Putting it in writing is more realistic and makes it real. So creating your schedule in this way may save you a lot of time, frustration, and wondering why, for example, children are communicating through adverse behaviors. Think about how much time your transitions take and then adjust your schedule to reflect them. When planning your schedule and transitions, remember to analyze why you are choosing a transition, analyze the goal of the transition, is it needed? Reflect on how many transitions happen in your classroom. Are there too many? Are they needed? And prepare accordingly. Make transitions part of teaching and appropriate to development and need. You can also involve families in your work by considering how to create smooth transitions at home, thereby decreasing the likelihood of challenging behaviors occurring in both environments. There are many ways to support children throughout the day, and simply considering and providing clear directions for the children to follow and presenting your ideas in a manner that is interesting and meaningful to them, and you will make every day terrific. Pause the video here, take 20 minutes to review the Strategies for Positive Transitions document and the NAEYC article, Reducing Challenging Behaviors During Transition. We finished this workshop with a visit to the NAEYC position statement on advancing equity in early childhood education. Consider key points from the statement as it relates to the content from this workshop, including how all children have the right to equitable learning opportunities that help them achieve their full potential. Thus, all early childhood educators have a professional obligation to advance equity in the following ways. Create a caring, equitable community of engaged learners, establish reciprocal relationships with families, observe, document, and assess children's learning and development, and advocate on behalf of young children, families, and the early childhood profession. What does this mean to you? How does it relate to special needs and behavior? Further, what does the content in this statement mean to your own early childhood education philosophy? Consideration of these questions will prepare you for our next workshop. Please pause the video here, take 20 minutes to review the NAEYC position statement on advancing equity in early childhood education. Then, reflect on what you have learned and take time to finalize your thoughts. Consider a plan for addressing special needs in your classroom. We will close with your optional action point. Review again the transition information and consider the following questions. What transitions are happening in my classroom? How many transitions happen in the course of the day? Are they all necessary? Why? How could I plan differently? Thank you.